This is the 1992-93 Clayton Singles Championship between John Panazzo and Henry Lawson. The marker for the day will be Paddy O'Brien, the president. John Panazzo won the mat and was elected. Henry's also playing on his forehand, and it looks quite a good bowl. Yes, it's a good bowl for a first bowl.
Well, you know when we joined.
Yes, I do. 1996.
Yeah, about 1990. I was here for 3 years, and I left and went back to my original club. So I've been here probably altogether about 27 years.
I started here in 1989, and I've been here ever since.
It was just all paddocks when we came here. Nothing, just tips, dirt tracks.
Didn't they start off with just a tin shed or something instead of a clubhouse?
Yes.
Bill Marshall, he was one of the original members that started here. I started at the club in 1960. I think it was 60 they started. You know, they had a little tin shed and had one green, and then it's just gradually grown from there.
Well, they first bought the land, or they got the land off the council. The council leased them the land, and they had a little shed out there. It was their first club room, and they had one green. So it was really before my time.
Oh, you're not here for
Yeah, that's it.
That's
yeah.
it? Oh, that's the first clubhouse.
Yeah. That's that man again, it's got to be heard.
Well, the club was just started with that. We just had the 2 greens, a little brick clubhouse. Then the members, the members built the first extension. All the members did it just on their own.
The club was a small shed affair, which was there. There was none of this. It was just a bar. The front entrance for argument's sake was never like that whatsoever.
We built all these sheds ourselves and all that sort of stuff. Like it was all built by volunteer labour in those days. Blokes would come down day after day when we were doing any big projects.
Virtually when the club started, it was a volunteer club. There were no paid members here at all. Even the greenkeeper was a volunteer, and all the workers, they were all volunteers.
We could get 15, 20 people working on the greens when there was any renovations or painting, or when we built all these sheds, these shelters. Some were welding, some were painting, some were grinding. Everyone, if they didn't have a trade, they could do something and they could help. And it was all voluntary labour. No one got paid, and they all used to enjoy it.
If you're asked to help out on something, you willingly did it.
The greenkeeper's guy is a nice guy. His name is Lee Govan. He struck me walking out the gate one day. That's a good place to catch anyone when you're leaving. He said, "Bobby, if you've got a bit of spare time on your hands, would you mind helping me and Teddy mark the greens and rake the ditches?" And I said, "Yeah, not a worry, mate." Yeah. Teddy saw how easy that was for him to score me. They had a 3-man or 4-man team mowing lawns, and one guy left, and Teddy said, "Look, Bob, would you mind helping me for a couple of weeks until I get somebody?"
I can remember my husband and I peeling 15 kilos of potatoes to make potato salad for one of our dinners and our gala days and things like that.
It was just all amateur, no paid staff, and until the previous manager came, and then Margaret came, and she's really boosted things up. She's a goer.
After the finish of the war, there were a lot of people and a lot of groups were formed, including sports groups, and Bolts was one of them.
Yes, teams used to come from all around the area, and they played on the Monday. They had lunch first, and no, they didn't. They played, and then they had lunch, and then they played again.
There were so many people wanting to get into the club, there was a waiting list. And even when you did get in, I think it was 2 years before I got a game in a pennant team. So many people wanting to be involved. And I've met a lot of people here that I would never have met otherwise, even though some of them lived in the same street. And
in those days, it was different. It was more family orientated.
Somewhere to go of a Wednesday and a Saturday. Yeah.
We had probably about 150, 160 bowling male members and about 60 or 70 female bowlers.
It was really a family club. It consisted of people who lived around the area.
Everybody was happy together pretty well.
Well, companionship mainly, being bowling with your mates and that, and it's always been a good club, I found,
Well, they're all friends, We used to come Friday nights, we'd all have a beer, and sit there around. And Saturday nights, we'd all have a sing-song.
There was always something social going on, and it was excellent. They used to dress up in quite strange things, the men, but I can't really remember too much about that.
We had some bananas, we had some bananas today.
We used to have concerts, we had a choir, a men's choir.
When I first came here, they used to put on a concert, and some of the blokes had reasonable voices, and they formed a choir, because one of the fellas was a choir master from one of the local churches. And one of my mates that I play bowls with of a Wednesday, he's a Welshman, so he's got quite a nice voice, and he's quite a good singer.
They have Australia Day, it's costume day, come as whatever, and that's always a fun day.
Bumblebees and all those sort of things, yeah. Oh, it was marvellous. I did ballet dances, anything, yeah.
We were getting ready to retire, and we were looking for a social function, and a lot of our friends were here, and we just sort of joined because they were here. But I'd grown up with parents and grandparents both being bowlers, so I'd grown up with a bowling green.
Well, my father, he was a bowler. And my grandfather, he was a bowler. He bowled for Carlton. He was the president of the Carlton Bowling Club.
Right.
My great-grandfather. And my father, he bowled for St Kilda Football Club Social Club, which is not going anymore. It's been disbanded. And I bowled a few times with my father when he practiced and that, And then I said to myself, well, I'll join when I'm 40. And my auntie and uncle bowled here, so I joined with them.
My brother-in-law was madly into bowls, and Richmond had an open day like the barefoot bowls now, and we'd never heard of it before. Just come down, he said, don't worry about footwear. And went down, he said, you'll really like it. And yes, I did.
Yes, well, I was interested in bowls when we retired, and my husband John, he joined Moorabbin, so I joined that too.
I didn't start bowling till my wife died 20 years ago. She died and I wanted, I come up through other sports, and bowls was an older, I was told or led to believe in those days, 20 years ago, it was an older person's sport. And I liked it, so I started. And my cousin, I went to a barbecue one day at a bowls club, and they said have a practice, which I'd never picked a bowl up, and I went really well, you know, just mucking around, and it got me in, and that was it. But that wasn't at this club, that was at another club. But the next year I joined this club because I had a few friends here, like Max Watkins. He was a chap here. He said, if ever when you stop playing cricket, come and play bowls with me. And that's what I done. I was true to my word, and I come to this club. And I've been here ever since. He's gone, but I'm still here.
You miss your friends, the ones that are gone, you know.
Yeah.
Like Keithy Summers just died. He was a great mate of mine. We played football together in a grand final in 1955. We're playing bowls in 2000 something, you know. They're all friends for life. That is it, family.
Well, it's like family. I've been here so long that I wouldn't like to go to another club. No.
Well, a friend of mine, I was working with him, and he said, take up bowls. He told me what a good game it is and all that other sort of rubbish. And he brought enrolment forms from here, and I filled them out and brought them over here, and I signed up. And a couple of weeks later, I said to them, where's Ray Taylor? I never see him around here. Well, he doesn't bowl, he bowls at South Oakley. The bloke that signed me up was bowling at South Oakley.
Paddy O'Brien signed me up.
Oh, Paddy, yeah. Paddy was a character. He was the Greens director for many years, and when he wanted someone to help on the Greens, he could always get. There was only one vacancy. He only wanted one person, so be quick, or you didn't get the job. That's what he used to say. But he used to take about 15, 20. But he always used to say, I only need one. Now, unless you're quick, you won't get the job. And he used to finish up with about 20, because that's what he wanted.
He was a very strong member of the club. Very forceful person. If you didn't volunteer when Paddy asked you, well, there was something wrong with you.
No one will ever realise Paddy. He was just Paddy.
You've probably seen it on the bar. Paddy O'Brien, he was one of the original members here, and he sort of started that when you put a bowl down, if you happen to hit the kitty, he used to yell out, "That's a hooly-dooly," and Roy's carried on. Roy Shudd, he's carried on with that now, and the whole club does it now.
He used to say it all the time, you know. Yeah. And I sort of took it over from him when he left. But,
does it mean anything? Does it?
Oh, no, just a good bowl. It's a good bowl. If he happens to, mainly say when they hit the kitty, you know, when they bowl and hit the kitty.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a hurly-durly.
Any pennant game you win, it's a good game. Why do you like football when you play? Why do you know? It's the same as any sports game. You play to win.
Right.
That's all you do.
Yeah. Good, Scotty. Well done. Good shot. Just a little tiny poke up there. See what anything's good. Your balls.
I'd played crown green bowling in England, but that's different than this. And I said to someone, how do they play this game?
Takes a long time actually. It's a thinking game.
Because it looks easy, but it's really not.
No, it's not easy.
It looks
really.
predictable, but it's not. And each green, each number can be different when you bowl the ball. Can't it?
Each end can be different.
Yeah, the wind comes into it.
Have to have a good eye for a good length, and then you just have to do everything. You keep your body still, you don't slump your shoulders and everything, you know, and you have good bowls. These days the bowls are great, yeah. And you just practice a lot.
I bowled really well at Carnegie one day. I was a third. You go as there's a lead, a second, a third, and the skipper. And the skipper stays down the other end and directs where he wants to bowl and that, you know. But I bowled terrific this day. I couldn't do a thing wrong, you know.
That's so good.
And the skipper was that annoyed he wouldn't shake my hand after the game. The other skipper from Carnegie. But that was the best game I ever had.
Well, probably my best memory is with Heck. Heck and I, we played in the Victorian over 60s pairs. Never expecting to do anything, and we got the runner-up in Victoria in the over 60s pairs. And that was probably my highest achievement here, yeah.
Well, we had to play in Victorian Championship up in Etuca, and in those days, for some reason, we also had some men in the team, and we managed to win that title, so that was very prestigious.
We had a lot of big tournaments then. Best memory was we won the flag one, the first ever year I played competition, and we went right through and won it, and we came back like kids. We had a flag, big long flag, and we hung it out the window of a bus, you know, and we were waving to everybody. You know, we were like kids because it was the first one. Well, the first one I knew, but the first one for a long time.
Our females have been very good. Our females have been in the top grade of players. We had a top coach, Joyce Lindors from Scotland, who came second in the world bowls. Not in ordinary bowls here, or in Australia, but second in the world. She became our coach. She was very good. We were very lucky.
I became a coach at one stage, then I became an umpire at another stage. Jan, she taught me into being an umpire. She was already one, and we went to World Bowls and umpired at World Bowls at Moama when they had every country.
Oh, well, very strict with the women in those days. Like they used to measure the height of their dress, you know.
And in the ladies' room, change room, they had a mirror. And they had a line on the mirror, and the president would check their dresses if there was any.
That was fun. Yeah.
My mother bowled, and she always kept saying to me, "Why don't you join?" And I said, "While I measure the length of your skirt." There's no intention of bowling. When they played pennant, they had to walk past a measuring stick to make sure they're thick, and you had to wear a double-sided petticoat.
Yes, that's right.
That's right.
Absolutely. Yeah. So nothing could be revealed, Jan.
Very strict they were in those days, very strict. There was a big change in the bowling when a lady in another club went into a court case, I think, about being able to play with the men and all that, and it affected the ladies in a big way.
Well, when it first came in, a lot of women left bowls, not just Clayton, bowls, and they've never got them back. From the time Bowls Victoria became the overriding thing that ran bowls, it's changed so much. It's completely different.
We have to keep changing to keep up with everybody else and to keep the people coming here.
Yeah.
So if you don't keep improving and getting people coming here, you won't have bowlers coming here.
The clothing you wear to start with, that's a lot different to what it used to be.
You look at all the Premier League sides and look at all the way they all dress now. Not plain dark or plain white. They're all in colours that come up really nicely on television. That's what it's all about. Part of the ongoing, the changing of things.
Young people are accepted now. They weren't accepted when I first joined. Young people were not accepted in bowls. They didn't like them because they thought they should be out playing cricket or football or rugby or whatever.
I think the game has changed in this context. It's not so much an old guys game. It's a lot of younger people interested. Like young Ryan, who will have come across, he works behind the bar. He's got a scholarship for bowling or whatever. Ryan, I don't know. I'd have to guess. I'll say he's about 22 or something. I don't know. And he's very keen bowler. We've got a young boy here, Cooper. I think he's 10. And he's a really good bowler, you know.
Yeah.
So getting back to my original statement, I think the game has gone from old guys down to younger people.
Well, some of the uni groups come here, for instance. Some of the faculties come here. They seem to really enjoy themselves. But the first time they came all dressed in white, because all bowlers play in white. No, they don't anymore. They were the only ones in white in the whole room. They were the only ones that were in white. It was so funny. So they'll try and take us on by all wearing white, right? We're looking, why are they wearing white for?
You need clubs like this, yes, for the community. They use our club rooms and things for community things and that, so it's really good, yeah.
The next step, I feel, is the new development, which will be the making of the club.
We're talking about building a synthetic green covered green out here. And if they get that, they'll be the biggest business out this way.
I've been pushing for something like 16 years here to have an indoor bowling centre on the back green, number 3 green. And I've never given up on that. And it looks like it's coming to fruition.
Eventually you have to hand over to the next generation, but not just yet. I enjoy being on the board and I enjoy having a say in how things happen.
I have a little secret that I'd like to share with you. It's not of great importance. You won't read it in the news. It's about this game of bowls we play. You're all attention now. I've got a little secret. It could cause a whopping row. You see, when I goes out to play and the sun is shining bright, there ain't no wind, the greens are dry, and I'm all there in me whites. I ask myself, what can I blame? What excuses can I give? If we all were champs and our bowls always on track, perhaps the game would lose its thrill and we'd want the old days back, when wind and sun and rain and cold meant our bowls were not quite true. And we went out there just to improve our game, have fun with friends like you. Thank you.